Hello everyone, my name is Tony Picciano. I am the CEO of Neurotrust Incorporated, manufacturer of some of the finest facial and body sculpting machines you're going to find today. This is our new SX-3800. It replaces the 3500 and it added some new features to the facial sculpting, and we also call it a level 1 body sculptor. So this is our facial and body sculpting machine level 1, and I'm going to explain what that means here in a minute. Let me go ahead and show you how to turn this on first real quick. Medical grade power cord plugs in the back, and it takes a little firm pressure sometimes. You won't believe, but I've had a lot of phone calls that they couldn't get the cord in. You just got to muscle it in there because it's brand new. There's also a switch in the back of the unit. Make sure it's on. The position that shows us on is a number 1. The 0 is off. When it's on the number 1, the machine will be able to turn on through this power button that's on the top of the unit. Hit the power button after 2 seconds. The machine powers up. It lights up. All right, so let me go over a little bit about why this machine is our facial and body sculptor and what the difference between level 1 and level 2 body sculpting is, because you need to know that because there's a variety of products on the market that claim to be face and body machines, and you need to know the difference between level 1 and level 2. Level 1 body sculpting sends out frequencies of energy to cause lipolysis and hydrolysis on the body, and it will help minimize the look of cellulite, tone and tighten the skin, shrink fat cells, and even affect little muscle toning. What it doesn't do is it won't do intense muscle contractions that you're going to see in the level 2 body machines we have, which do something different, a little bit more muscle toning and more lymphatic drainage faster with those level 2 body machines, okay? So with level 1 body machines, they won't contract muscle, and which sometimes is good, because sometimes if you want to help with doing some cellulite reduction or superficial fat toning and tightening, this machine will work with that, okay? So facial and body sculptor. It's our top-of-the-line facial toning system. Also, it's got new programs added. It's got 7 preset programs to the machine. It's a quad-core system, meaning 4 channels. And it also has another feature of single dual for the quick 15-minute facial. And it's a really neat machine because it uses the 2nd generation technology, which is patented. We have a patent filed and completed by the U.S. Patent Board on the 2nd generation technologies. And what that does is we have a unique way that we deliver the current. It's microcurrent is not all the same, you see, and there are different ways to deliver microcurrent energy, and what we do, each program is preset. And what that means is it takes a combination of frequencies and different types of energies to make a preset to give a desired effect that we're looking for. So for example, number 1's oxygenation, so it's going to be a preset frequency and form of energy and delivery mode to create that parameter we're looking for. And we do that to all of the other programs that are in the machine. Okay? And being that it's a quad-core system, which is really neat, what that means is it has 4 separate frequency generating systems that are independent from each other. That's why we can combine different signals, because they won't affect one another. They're unique to its own, and it really gives some really interesting results, which you're going to see with this machine. I mean, there's no other microcurrent machine on the market that will deliver such powerful results. Okay. It also has a body impedance meter to measure body impedance during the treatment to make sure we're getting the proper delivery of the signatures. It's important because the current is so low. This is a Nano and PICO system. Sometimes you can't feel that energy, and you need to know that you're doing a treatment, and this is the way to do it. We're going to show you how this works. Okay. Now, it also, even though the presets are pre-programmed on this machine, it has independent user controls on the amplitude adjustments, which means you can control the amount of strength or intensity of the signals. This particular channel, Nano Channel 1, actually has 2 channels. It's Nano 1 and 2, and it controls the output out of Nano 1 here and the single probes. This would be Nano channel 2, which is really 2 more channels, and it controls the output of out of this jack. And what we have in the middle here is kind of a unique patented probing system that we have. It's our PICO probes, and it's 4-prong probes, which both of these channels will affect the output of the PICO probes. Okay? So let me go over all those functions with you. In fact, let me start with the probes, because we got several different probes that we use. We got gloves you can use with this, and you also got face pads you can use with this machine, depending on what effect you're looking for. Let me start with the PICO probes and bring those out. And why are they PICO probes? Well, because we have a patented system that delivers the current at very low levels effectively, then we are able to drop the current down and divide it by 4 different generating channels to give you more surface conduction and more treatment. Not more current, but more of the energy that's being delivered. So you're not getting more current, you're just getting more of the special signatures that are doing the work. Now it's very simple. We plug the red into the red jack, and we plug the black into the black jack, which is right here. Okay, now we're going to be doing a treatment with these PICO probes, and they're so unique because each of these prongs, okay, you have 4 and 4. In order for these probes to work, 2 of the prongs work off of this selector, the other 2 work off of this selector. So you really need to have both of them on in order for the PICO probes to be working at its most effectiveness. Okay? We're going to put it on dual mode, which I'm going to explain what that switch is here in a minute. In order for the probes to work or get any current out, this switch needs to be red. If it's not red, it's not on. Okay? So just remember, red means that it's sending the current to the probes. I'm going to keep this on dual mode, and what that means is dual means that the probes work together. Dual, it means you need to have both probes on the skin in order to work, and the way that happens is the energy is being traveled between the 2 probes like this. Okay, so in other words, this would be +1, -1, positive channel 2, negative channel 2, positive channel 3, negative channel 3, positive channel 4, negative channel 4. So that means the probes are communicating between each other. So when you're doing a treatment, you want both probes on the skin, and you do want the black on top. Okay? So you're going to do a treatment, you're communicating between the 2 probes. All right? Now, you put it on single mode, that means the probes now become single-use probes, independent from each other. I'm going to explain what that means. +1, -1, +2, -2. That means the energy is traveling between the single probes. This would be +3, -3, +4, -4. See, the 4-channel system gives you the ability to have 2 separate probes. What that means is you can do the 15-minute facial, and now you're doing a treatment on both sides of the face at the same time. Or you can choose to use 1 probe. However you want to do it. They're independent from each other. You can do what you want to do with these probes independently. Most people like to do both sides of the face at the same time. And you have to, one thing you have to remember is that when you do have it on single mode, the probes are independent from each other. That means this amplitude control would control the red probe. This amplitude controls the black probe because they're separate. So if you have this on set, say we're doing PICO, and you have it set at 15, you now have this one set at 15 also because they're both independent. Okay? You see how that works? You need, when you're using the PICO probes to get the maximum amount of effect from the signatures, you want both of these channels on and generally set to the same setting. Sometimes there are times when they're offset, and I'll explain that later. Okay? But that's how the dual single mode works. It's real simple. You do the same movements on single, but you can do them on both sides of the faces at the same time. And that's how the function switch works. And I'm going to recommend, when you first get your machine, keep it on dual. Don't start using the single mode until you become very proficient with it, okay? Because the best way you're going to get your most effective results is on dual. That's your most effective way. You're using 4 channels that way, and it's the most power you're going to get out of the machine in dual mode. So keep it on dual for a while until you get really good with the machine, and you can start practicing doing, you know, both sides of the face and do a complete facial in 15 minutes, really quick for like a lunchtime facial, okay? All right, so we're going to leave it on the dual mode for now. All right, so now, when it's on dual mode, that means that the probes are communicating with each other. The red probe, the black probe, we're setting the red probe to 15 and the black probe to 15, so they're communicating at the same intensities. And you can see my meter isn't moving, right? I have both on the skin. What's wrong? Well, did I put any gel? My gel dried up, right? I can put more gel on or spray, whatever the case is, and now I'm going to help transfer the current back into my skin. Voila, would you look at that? The meter drops down a little bit. Okay? All right, so you're going to see a drop in the meter once you start using gels. And usually with the PICO probes, it doesn't drop as much as with the single probes because you're using 4 channels. So the energy is a little bit, not the current more, but the signals are covering more surface area. So if you get 1 or 2 or 3 point drop, then you're doing pretty good on the PICO probes. All right? And Patricia's going to show you a little bit more about that. And she's also going to show you the typical movements that we do with these probes. Okay? But one thing to remember is that you want both of the channels on when you're using the probes. And, you know, if you're on PICO or oxygen, you're going to set it, I think it's at 4%, and then your meter is going to go to 4%. And Nano would be 15. And some things to remember, you know, sometimes people have sensitivities to signatures. And if they have an ultra-sensitive area, and Patricia will show you this, some of the tricks is, instead of turning both of the probes down, you can turn down half of them, maybe this one to 7 and the other one on 15. This way you can still do the treatment and still give most of the power or most of the energy. Okay, these are tricks of the trade that you get to learn when you're starting to do these treatments. Another thing to remember is you really want to keep all 4 probes on the skin at the same time and try to keep it as flat as possible. This is going to give you the most delivery and the most effective when you're doing a treatment, okay? All right. If I were to, you know, you have 7 programs on here. You can do everything from oxygenation, superfine wrinkle removal, deeper wrinkle removal, toning and tightening, pre-lifting preparation, and then your super lift program, and an ion phrenesis for product penetration. We kind of use different probes for that. I'll bring that out when we get to that, or Patricia will show you how that works. And you can even penetrate product as a galvanic signature. And what you do is, with some products have an ion charge to it, and they react with electrical energy to get pushed into the skin to make the product work more effectively. And we have a program for that on this machine. And it's pretty neat. Okay? And one thing I want you to remember is that when you're using the impedance meter best works with the Nano and PICO and tone. That's when we use the programs. It does not read the signature for lift or build or ion phrenesis, okay? It will not read those programs. Remember that. This meter will not, and we get calls a lot of times. Someone says, I have it on build or lift. How come my meter is not working? Well, it's because it doesn't read that. Your machine is working. It just doesn't read those signatures. So please remember that. Read that up in the manual. Everything I'm talking about right now is also in your manual, okay? So those are some things to remember. All right. Now you have the PICO probes. You also have another option that you can use. You have a pair of gloves that come with the machine. And the gloves are pretty neat. These are patented FDA approved gloves that are specifically made for this machine. And they really, really give an interesting effect. And what we like to do is, Patricia likes to do a treatment, face treatment with the probes, and then she'll finish off the last 5 or 7 minutes with the gloves. And they kind of really help give it more brightness, radiance, tighten the pores, and give a really neat glow to the skin. And they're awesome, awesome gloves, even help with lifting. And the way they work is you do your treatment, you plug it in to either channel 1 or channel 2 port. Just remember that this knob controls here, this knob controls here. You take the gloves and you snap it on. And you put your inserts on so you're not treating your hands while you're treating your patient, your client, and you do the treatment. Patricia's going to show you how it works. And always remember that, you know, these gloves are conductive. So what would happen if I put them on top of each other? What is the meter doing? Is going to 0. I get this all the time. People will take these gloves, they'll set them down on the table, and they'll plug their probes in, and then they're going to tell me, what happened? My machine is not working. It shows zeros on the meter. Well, I said, do you have the gloves plugged in? Yeah. Where are they? On top of each other. Well, unplug the gloves. And you can see the meter comes back. Because if you plug the gloves in and you set them down on top of each other, you know you're going to cancel out the signal of the machine. You're going to lose that channel. And you won't get as effective treatment when you're using the probes. So always remember that these gloves, you want to set your probes and your gloves and your other items on non-conductive surfaces. Always remember that. Keep an eye on that meter. It's going to be your friend. It's going to show you your machine's working, okay? Now, I'm going to take this. Generally, a treatment is anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes. Patricia's going to show you how much time to spend. There's no rocket science to it. How much time to spend on each of the programs. We like to do the gloves as a finale or an end to the treatment, as a nice little treat. We upcharge for the gloves. If you were to sum it all up and you were in a pinch or a time frame, PICO and Lift are your 2 most effective programs. PICO is your wrinkle. Lift is your facelift. If you really had to spend most of your time on something and you had to do a quicker treatment because someone came in late or whatever, spend most of your time on PICO and Lift, okay? And that's going to really, you know, give your customer a really good effect. Always remember you have different options to work with this machine. Spend as much time as you want. Generally, you get results very quick with this machine. You should see something happening in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's really, really neat, and you're going to love it. All right. Aside from the gloves, you have another modality you can add, which are face pads. You can also, these face pads are used, they're pretty neat. They're used to treat specific areas of the skin and face while you're doing some treatment. Say someone comes in and they really, really, really want their neck. They have this, you know, a turkey neck hanging or whatever's going on. They really want to treat that. You can take these pads and place them on the neck. While they're on the neck, you can take the probes and do a face treatment. So now you're doing 2 things at the same time, because this is a 4-channel system, remember. You're not taking away any energy. You can plug the face pads into the outside ports and plug in PICO probes in the middle and go to town. You can place up to 8 pads on the face and use the PICO probes all at full strength. So really, really neat. Saves time. You really give someone, you know, effective treatments on areas that are considered what they consider their problem areas. You can do an eye lift. You can do many things with this. Patricia's going to show you. Okay. The main thing I need to tell you about, they're disposable. They're not expensive, but the face needs to be clean and dry. Use something good like witch hazel or whatever you're going to use, but these pads need to be on a clean and dry skin. Otherwise, they won't stick. If you call me and tell me they're not sticking, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to tell you that the skin isn't clean and dry. Okay? Always remember that. Very important. All right. So we went over the gloves, the probes, and the face pads. There's another probe here that I'd like to show you. It's a single probe. And these probes are pretty neat when you want to treat certain areas around the lip or eye. They're single probes. They work really neat for that. And they also work for the ion phrenesis product penetration program. And Patricia's going to show you how to incorporate these probes for that treatment. And these probes plug into the center banana jacks, and of course they work off of which channel? Number 1. So when you plug these in, you make sure you use this adjuster for the probes, okay? So real simple, I'm going to show you, just so we get the visual. I'm plugging in the single probes, and I'm turning on my channel, okay? And there we go. You can see my meter is reading. All right, that's when I'm going to use this. Again, for ion phrenesis, it doesn't read. It's going to show zeros, which is normal, but it is working. You use this meter right here to read off of the value that's for that program. Okay? All right. So let me do a quick review here. Turn the machine on. It'll power up in a few minutes. We'll set it to dual mode, right, to start. We'll set it to oxygen to start our treatment, and oxygen generally starts at around 3 or 4%. We'll set both sides to 4%. I'm going to plug in my PICO probes and turn it on. Now it shows a reading. Okay? If I'm going to use single mode, that means I'm going to take both probes and just do both sides of the face at the same time. That's for a quicker treatment. That option is there. But I'm going to keep it on dual because whenever my customer comes in for the first time, I want to give them the biggest wow factor. I'm going to give them the full benefits of this machine and keep it on dual mode. So that's something you want to do in the beginning, at least till you get used to the machine, okay? Other than that, I think I hit all the points on this machine. And more so is Patricia, and Jennifer's our model, and Patricia's going to go over all of these preset programs and is going to show you how our movements, our 3 movements, which is glide, cinch, and erase. She's going to show you how to implement each and every one of those movements and how they incorporate them on the programs, okay? How to work the glide with oxygen, and how to work the cinch with PICO and Nano, and how to work erase with each of them, and the holding with the lifts and the builds, okay? So I'm going to bring Patricia in and Jennifer, and thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Patricia, and I am the Director of Sales and Training for Nurtris. I'm going to show you the protocols for the SX-3800. The SX-3800 is our new facial and level 1 body machine. It has 7 programs, and I'm going to go over each one. What this face treatment will do is give you lymphatic drainage. It detoxifies, promotes circulation, oxygenation, refine lines and wrinkles, deep and superficial, and it's a toning program for tightening, toning, and radiance of the skin. Plus it builds collagen, elastin, and has sculpting as well. So going over the protocols, first I want to go over the machine. The power is on. This is your start button. And we have it on oxygen, which is your first program. And on the settings for that is 3 to 5%. And I recommend staying on this program for about 2 minutes. Our second program is Nano. Nano is 15 to 35%. For your first clients, you're having the first treatment, you may want to start a little lower, onto 13% till you find out what is comfortable for them. Because in this program, they can have a sensitivity or vibrating around the teeth and the mouth and in the temporal area. You would spend 3 to 5 minutes on one side of the face, and again, of course, on the other side of the face, you would do 3 to 5 minutes as well. The third program is Refine PICO. It's for superficial fine lines and wrinkles. Again, the level is 15 to 35%. And PICO is one of our strong programs, so I would recommend 5 to 10 minutes, depending. And you would do that on both sides of the face as well. Our fourth program is Tone. Tone is for tightening, toning, and giving that overall radiance. This goes subdural into the skin, so they will feel it more. So you just want to, again, it's 15 to 35% as well as the level. you may have to adjust accordingly to their comfort level. Our fifth program is Derma Build. Derma Build is, our levels are 50 to 75%. And on this program, it's like a pre-lifting program, so it preps for the next program. And what would they feel on this program? They'll have flashes of light, which is your optic nerve recognizing that signature, and also they can have a taste of metal, which is your taste buds recognizing that. And again, you can adjust accordingly to the comfort of your client. And the settings are 50 to 75%, and this is a very, I would spend about 3 to 5 minutes on this program. And it varies from 50 to 75. You can go lower than 50 if need to be for the comfort level, but 50 to 75 is our guideline range. Our sixth program is Derma Lift. It is the most effective lifting program. And we set our levels 50 to 75%. That is our guidelines. Of course, you can go lower if you need to start for the comfort of your client. What they will feel on this program is a taste of metal and flashes of light as well. The time frame to stay on this program would be, I would spend about 7 to 10 minutes, and you would do this on both sides of the face as well. Our seventh program is ionophoresis, and this is our penetrating a product. This program, you would start at the level of 30% on this program, and that's for penetration of your products. Okay, now I want to show you how to put the PICO probes into proper spots to start the treatment. So here we have, it's labeled black PICO probe, and as you can see, I know it's a little hard, but it goes right in here. Ox in the black, that's your negative. And your red PICO probe goes where it says red PICO probe. So you got your probe set up. You got your machine is currently off right now. So when I turn it on, it's going to be red. So your machine is on when it's red. When it's off, it's green. So let's bring it on to red where we can start the treatment. First of all, we're going to use our conducting gel on the face. I like to use a fan brush because it doesn't penetrate, and if you use a cotton material to put on, it seems to penetrate the gel. This way it just glides in the face. I'm just going to do it on her neck. Okay, this machine has 7 programs, and we use 3 different movements of these programs that I'm going to go over with you. One is glide. So glide is just a sweeping action with both probes moving together up. That's glide. Just switch up. Cinch. Cinch is holding the black probe and moving the red probe towards it. So holding the black and moving this up. That is cinch. Erase is erasing back and forth, taking the red probe and going back and forth. There's several different ways you can do that erase movement. Okay, now I'm going to get on with the first program and show you oxygen. Oxygen increases circulation to the tissues and provides more oxygen into the tissues and gets prepped for the rest of the programs. Oxygen, we use 3 to 5%. And this movement is just a nice flowing movement. And you're going to be on this program about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. That's just a nice flowing movements. And you can get everywhere in the face. Just get in there, oxygenate that face. And what they're not going to feel anything on this program. If they do, it's very few people do that I ever come across. It's very, very mild. And what can happen is they can get pinkish or a little red. Some people who have little reddish skin or rosacea, they can get redder than others, but it's very good for them because it's actually promoting circulation, which is good for the skin. So this very simple flowing movements on the skin. And that's oxygened. So of course you would do the same on the other side. And the next program is Nano. Nano, the settings for Nano are 15 to 35%. And what that is, it is for refined lines and wrinkles. It's a little deeper than we refine lines and wrinkles. And it's 15 to 35%. And if you have a new client, you're also going to want to go a little lower, just for you to know what their comfort zone would be, or everyone has a different sensitivity, I should say. So I like to start out at 13%. And this program can go to 3 to 5 minutes. And of course you would do this again on both sides. And we're going to do our movements. We're going to do the glide, the cinch, and the erase with this program. So like I've showed you, the glide is using both. Just moving up. Get right into the neck area. And you can go right over the lips. It's fine to do that. Your probes this way. Get that eye lift. Our cinch move. Holding your black probe and bringing the red probe towards it. Good for the nasolabial folds. So good for the eye area. So see how I'm just getting right there, holding that black and bringing it right up to it. Also using erase. Erase, again, like I showed you, is going to be back and forth. And it's a great place. I always go to the lips because that's where everyone gets those fine lines and wrinkles on the lips. You can go right over them. And it can be this way too. I know it's on the lip, but it's fine. And you go back and forth. Another area for the eyes. You can even do this as under the eyes. See an erase going one way, kind of just real gentle because our under our eye is a little delicate. Or the erase move. So again, I said about 3 to 5 minutes on Nano, and that would be on both sides of the face. And then we are going on to the next program, PICO. PICO is for superficial lines and wrinkles, and that's program number 3. Again, this guidelines for this program is 15 to 35%. And this is an effective protocol, so I like to stay on this protocol for about a good 5 minutes, and I would do that on both sides as well for 5 minutes. And I'm going to, again, the movements are glide, cinch, and erase. So this is a nice glide. Remember, you do not want to touch the probes with each other because that would cancel them out and that would cause not an effective treatment. If you look at the impedance meter, when I'm off, you can see that when I'm off the skin, it's at 10. And when I'm on the skin, you can see it drop a couple points. That's good. We want to see that. That means we're getting an effective treatment. Skin penetration. Now I also want to tell you a few tips. Some people are just more ultra sensitive and around the mouth and the teeth area. There's a couple ways to get around that. Number one, you could actually turn down channel 2 here, and you could go down like maybe a couple percentages, maybe 2. Keep the black one on the same as you were. Just turn the 1 channel down. And that always seems to help with the sensitivity around the mouth that a lot of people get. Another effective move would be only around the mouth using the single part of the probe, just bringing the 1 probe down with the dot down onto the skin around the sensitive area, and you can just work it that way. Just around the mouth, because that's generally where they're sensitive at. Remember, just a few tricks to help with that sensitivity. Okay, that's your glide. Your cinch, you want to be, you want to get a lot of surface of the probe on the face, and you want to put some pressure on there. Don't be afraid to be a little firm and a little aggressive. See how I'm cinching? I bring that up towards the black probe. The red's moving, the black is. A lot of times what I like to do though is when I'm cinching, I find myself cinching and gliding, which is nothing wrong with that because you're just moving up on the face. You cinch and then you're moving and gliding up and cinching again. So these movements are all effective and fine to do. Again, on PICO you can also do the erase move. And that's with your red probe, the positive. Again, around the eye. Another cinch. So that, remember the program, the movements for the program PICO. Moving on to the 4th program, we have tone. Now tone is for our tightening and toning, and it gives an overall radiance to the skin. It does go subdural into the skin, so they may feel a little more. The settings for that is also 15 to 35%. The movements are also glide, cinch, and erase. And about 3 to 5 minutes as well on each side of the face on this program. So you're doing the same movements. You're doing your glide. I can get right up here and do their eyes. And if I see some areas that need more work on, I do tend to hold on them areas a little bit, and that's fine to do because the current's working that area. Just hold it for a little bit with your movements. Here's your cinch, black, and the red probe goes towards the black probe. See how I try to keep as much probe on the face for overall coverage to get, because you have a lot of probe, you may as well use it. It's great around the eyes right here for crow's feet. In the meantime, you can do an eye lift as well. And you have your erase move, also with tone. Again, you do those fine lines and wrinkles. It really works good. It is going deeper into skin, so it can be, and it's a very it's a nice toning program. And again, underneath the eye. You know, if the gel starts drying and you don't want to apply any more gel, we do have our conducting spray, which is very conducting. It just re-wets the surface of the skin and acts as conducting and helps kind of reactivate the gel a little. So just a couple little squirts. That is effective. I'm going to go into our next program, our 5th program, which is Derma Build. Derma Build is it's kind of like a prep for our Derma Lift program. And my recommendation on this program is about 3 minutes is generally what I do, because it's enough to prep till you go to the next program where you get your nice lifting program. So the settings for this is 50 to 75. And again, you can start out on a level. With this one, I think you could probably start out with 50. If someone's ever more sensitive than that, you can always go down. It's not effective because it still works at that level. But I'm going to go up to 50%. And as you can hear, you probably hear some clicks. Well, these clicks are there for a reason, and I hold for 4 clicks. And what your client will feel at this point, they will have a taste of metal. The taste of metal is your taste buds recognizing this particular signature. And they will also have flashes of light, and that is your optic nerve recognizing this particular signature. This is all normal and safe and not a problem. And again, you can adjust the levels. And if you hear those clicks, you can see that I'm putting the probes on the face. I always start at the neck and hold for 4. Good for plumping the lips. The probes don't always have to be on the side. You can bring the probes this way. This actually gives a nice sculpting effect around the jawline. I like this move a lot, actually. Great for the eye lifting. And also remember, your black probe is always on top. So it's basically just a hold. Hold for 4 seconds, start up the neck, go up to the eyes to get that lift. But you can also go back to another area, of course. Some places need more targeting with this program. Our 6th program is a very effective program, Derma Lift. Again, this levels are 50 to 75, and again, you can go lower if need to be. Like 40%, it's still effective for your people that are more sensitive. This program is very effective, and I like to use it for 5 to 10 minutes, and I do that on both sides of the face. 5 on 10 on one and 5 to 10 on the other. And again, the movement is the same. It is the 4-second hold, go up, 4-second hold. So it's the same movement as your last program. This is the program you're going to get the facelift. Get a beautiful lift. Again, it's great for plumping those lips. Oh, women like plumpy lips. Great for the eye lift as well. And my favorite as well is getting there to do the sculpting of that jawline. It really works well for this. Okay, now I am going to show you a couple uses even with the single probes. I'm going to turn this machine off and take out the PICO probes. And here's our single probes, which go right in here, red into red, which is positive, and negative, into the negative port, the black. These probes are good to use on any of the programs as well. And there are some places that a lot of people like to use them on, and I'm going to use it maybe on PICO to show you. And again, that's 15 to 35% on PICO. Using the black one on top, it's great because of the roundness of this. It's a nice comfort around, you know, it just feels good around the mouth. And really the nice one is around the eye. You can just kind of even let it lay there and move it ever so gently. Or you can actually do a whole treatment with the single probes, but why would you when you have the 4-channel system? But there is an option out here, and you can use it on every one of the programs. And use the movements that I've showed you with the PICO probes, glide, cinch, and erase as well. Another use that you're going to be using these single probes is for our 7th program, iontophoresis. Let's go back up to there. And for this program, we are going to have your client hold the left probe. So she's going to hold it right on top. Like, just hold it like that. And the red probe would be the one penetrating the product. So they're holding the black, and this, she's holding the black on her left hand. I'll do her right side of her face to penetrate the product. Just get in there and Now to penetrate the product on the other side, she would switch hands, and she would hold this on her right hand, and then I would penetrate the product on her left side of her face, like I did on her right side. It's nice movements just to get the penetration of your product that you're using into the skin. So that's how the number 7 program works. Another way to do penetrate the product is holding your negative here and just going. So, check so. So that's just a few ways of using the single probes. Okay, now I would like to show you the use of the gloves. The gloves to me are phenomenal. They do a wonderful job on a great ending of your face treatment. To use the gloves, you just put it in channel 1 with your cable. This goes right in. I already re-wet the gloves. I like to wet the gloves with water, which I recommend. And don't oversaturate them because it can block the current. You just want them enough wetness that the whole glove is wet, but not overly wet. Then take your ion spray and spray the glove. I spray about 15 sprays on one of the gloves. Sometimes I'll even just give a little, close your eyes, just a little mist on the face as well before I do the glove treatment. I'm going to put the inserts in, these little inserts that come with the gloves, and this helps you not get the treatment because you don't want to get the treatment and take away from your client. Although the client could get a treatment without the inserts, and I can explain that a little bit later. So I don't know if I really showed you. This snaps right on the glove, positive and negative. And it doesn't matter which one has a positive or negative at this point. The gloves, I'm starting out at 30%, and each individual client will be different. You may be able to go up in level, you may have to turn it down level. It's all for their comfort. Nevertheless, it's going to work. Starting this machine. As you can see, I have it on PICO right now, and the meter is reading 24. When I put my hands together, what happens? It reads 0. Right? So it cancels each other out. And that's one reason why we don't want to touch the gloves while we're doing the treatment on the face as well, because it'll cancel each other out and you won't be getting the treatment. But watching that meter as I do, it starts at 23, and watch what it does when I start it on the face. So it goes down to what, 6, 7? So this is good because you're getting a lot of penetration with the glove treatment, and that's what we want. It will be lower than with the probes because you're getting overall coverage. You're getting a lot of penetration with these gloves. And what I like about them is that you do have that. It's great for crepiness of the neck, you know, in the décolleté area even. You can work that whole area in here. You can use the gloves on both sides of the face, like one on one and one on the other. You can use the glove on two gloves on one side of the face as well. As you can see, I have the negative up top. So I have a nice pressure on here. So you don't have to, don't be real light where you're not feeling anything. Get a little pressure, get firm in there. It's so great for the pores. It will minimize pores. It brightens the skin, tones, tightens. But the beauty of the gloves compared to the probes is that you get overall coverage, but it's not a replacement for the probes. The probes are a 4-channel system, remember? So you want to get the use of those probes. But it really complements your treatment. They will have a wonderful radiance of the skin, a nice glow to the skin after you do the glove treatment. And I recommend doing the glove treatment, and it all depends how you incorporate your microcurrent in with your face treatments. About 5 minutes is a good way to end the treatment. It's relaxing, it's a nice massaging, and they feel great afterwards. So I think it's a great treatment. Just always make sure we go upwards, of course, because obviously gravity brought us already down. And that is how you do the glove protocol. Okay, for the glove protocol, I like to use PICO, Tone, and Lift. But you can use any program with the gloves. But I think the 3 effective ones from what I experience is PICO, Tone, and Lift. Okay, now I would like to show you the face pad protocol. These are the face pads, and they're a quad cable. They go on our channel 1, just like so, right in there, channel 1. And I'm going to put these on her neck so they can get the turkey neck, that saggy skin on the neck that happens as we age. And just to show you how this plug gets, I'm just going to show you up here. There's a little port. It just goes really in, just like that. So negative and positive. I already put the other ones in. I just wanted to show you how that was done. It's very easy. You want a clean, dry face. If you don't, the pads won't stick well. So make sure that's important. We're going to do her chin. Let's do a negative here. So negative is always on top again. Positive down here. Let's do another negative. Let's go right here. So this way we're treating the neck. So we're getting all that area where it can get saggy and the turkey neck as well. This here one, your other, it goes right in here into channel 2 because you're going to do the same thing that you did on this side. You've already seen me how I put them together, and that's pretty easy. So we're just going to go over here and do the other side, right onto the neck. Whoops. Negative on top, as always. And then positive on the bottom. So now you're working the whole neck area. And this here you can use, it saves a lot of time. You can target this area on the neck. And while she's getting the neck done, you can get out your probes and you can do the rest of the face with the probes. And you can go through all the channels because the face pads can be used with all the programs. All programs you can have. And then you just go ahead and go about and do your face treatment. And leave these on the neck. Another way you can bring it in, you may want to just target an area and keep the face pads on for 10 minutes, take them off, and then do the face treatment. There's ways that you can do, and it depends on what you want to do and how the client, you know, how much problem area they have that you need to treat. So this is how we treat the neck. I would like to show you also the eye treatment, how to get a nice eye lift. Okay, this is the eye protocol. This is a great lifting of the eye. Now you can just leave this on for 20 minutes. And a nice program that I like is Lift. I think Lift works really well for the eye lift. And then you can come back in and you may want to take these off and then go ahead and do a treatment with the probes. So it's like a pre-treatment before you actually go ahead and do the treatment with the probes. And you can incorporate this in any way you want to. But I think with the eye treatment with 8 pads on, you would need to do a pre-treatment before you can come in and do the probes. I have it on, you can do this up to 50% to 75 again as well. And this all depends on how your client, you know, sensitivity is and where to place that level at. And this would be your eye protocol for lifting. Okay, there's a lot of other pad placement, face pad placements that you can use that are in your manual. So just refer to that. And again, you can incorporate any way you want. And even if you find other pad placements that you can use, but we just give you ones to follow and to start you out with. So that ends the face pad protocols. Another service you can offer your clients is a hand treatment. I mean, after all, our hands when we age can show, and women like their hands to be looking awesome as well as their face. So right now I have my client, she has some gloves on. There's no inserts, they're all just the glove. If I had the inserts on, that would block the curtain. She would not get a hand treatment. So what am I going to do? I just these snaps. They're very easy, like I showed you earlier. Snap. And snap on here. And then I just plug into channel 1. And I can start the machine. I got her on oxygen right now. Just relax, because we don't want her to, she can't be doing this either. She's not allowed to touch the gloves with each other either, because what happens, it blocks and then it cancels each other out. Okay, while she's getting the glove treatment, you can proceed with your face treatment. So she's getting two services in one, so you can upcharge for that, and you're getting, you know, the hands and the face done at the same time. So that's how you can incorporate the glove treatment with your client. Okay, as you remember in the beginning of this training, I told you this was a facial and level 1 body machine. So I want to show you how to do the body now with this machine, with the you can use them with the probes or the gloves. I am going to use with the gloves with the inserts in. For I don't get a treatment. It's all going to go to your client. The best protocols to use is PICO, Tone, and Build. I mean, I'm sure you could use it on all of them. Them are the PICO, Tone, and Lift. Them are the most effective programs, I think, for doing the body. So I have it set at 50. Got my machine on. And you can start with the décolleté, the neck area, right in here. This is great for people who have crepiness, sun damage. Just lift it up and out. Make sure you don't touch the gloves with each other, because it will cancel each other out and the treatment won't be effective. So I would say for each program, stay on for about 7 minutes. For 7 minutes on PICO, 7 minutes for Tone, and 7 minutes for Build on each body part. And what about the belly? People who have cellulite or their skin from childbirth, You want to get in there and work it up. And use pressure, use some firm pressure, it's fine. You can use it on the sides. You can come up in the middle. And just work it all upward. This is great for cellulite. And even the legs. Our legs, and just get in there and you can work them all the way up. But whereas women's most targeted places is right in their hips and their thighs. So there's several ways you can hold this. You can get the front. You can get in this way. Get right in the middle of their thighs. And you would do the same as for the other side as well. Now, what is a big concern of us women is our buttocks, right? We all want to have a nice butt. So you can really work the butt and get rid of cellulite with the gloves. Just get in there and bring it up and hold. Now you can hold in these. I know I'm doing a lot of movements on this, but remember when you get in there and you see some places you want to target, just hold in there. Just keep lifting and hold. This targets all that area. And again, you can go right in here. Get into the inner thigh as well as the outer thigh. So you can use these gloves on anywhere in the body. My recommendation again is 7 minutes for each program, PICO, Tone, and Build. And of course, not everyone's probably going to come and do their whole body, but so in each body part, that's what I would recommend to work it. You can even do their arms as well. You know, women who, they don't work out their triceps, nothing's happening there. They need to work them out. So, you know, that's a big complaint of theirs. So you can work these arms, right? That skin in the back of the arm for tightening and toning effect. You know, some of the saggy skin. This also brightens up skin as well, gives a nice radiance to the skin. And that is the protocol for using the gloves on the body. I would also like to show you how to do the body with the probes. And the big area is still the butt and the thigh area for women. So that's the one I'm going to target on right now and show you how to use. So I just said she has gel on her butt and thighs, and you just work it up. And remember, the level current on the body can be tolerated than the face. So you can start out at 50 and work yourself up on that level, because it's fine even if you get up to 100% on the body, but you want to start out at 50 to see the tolerance of your client. Just get right in here. So it's a fabulous machine as well to work the body as with the face. And that's the protocol to use the face machine, level 1 body, on the body. Okay, that makes it a wrap for the protocol for the XX-3800. My best suggestion for everyone is get out there and use it. Practice, practice, practice. Don't be afraid to get in there and give, aggressive, firm pressure. And if you have any questions, feel free to call me, Patricia at Neurotrist, and I'd be glad to answer any of your questions. So good luck and enjoy the machine. Thank you.